Force podcast is supported by viewers, listeners, and businesses just like you. Looking for the best pool supplies? Look no further than Dohany's Pool Supplies. With a history dating back to 1967, this family-owned business offers everything families need to keep their pools clean and sparkling, from chemicals to equipment. Plus, customers enjoy free shipping on all orders. Visit Dohany's Pool Supplies today at doheny.com, DOHENY.com, to learn more. Broker Michelle Parno has lived and worked in Lake Forest for over 2 decades. Michelle's lending experience, when combined with her real estate expertise, makes her an invaluable asset to her clients as they navigate their home buying or selling process. Call Michelle now at 847-528-8721, 847-528-8721. For the best cannabis in the world, look no further than Iliad Epic Grow. Owned by Lake Bluff's own Rich Ruzich, they are a cannabis cultivation center focusing on hard-to-find small batch products that will delight both the occasional user and ganjier. When visiting Michigan, ask for it by name. Epic Products, exceptional process. For more information, email info@iliadgrow.com. Laracy & Company CPAs, founded in 2010 by Lake Forest's own Brian Laracy, specializes in tax preparation and bookkeeping services. Earning the People Love Us on Yelp award, their process is straightforward. Just upload, review, and file. For a free quote, visit LaracyCPA.com now. That's LARISEYCPA.com. I'm excited to share with you something special from our Lake Forest community, the Aesthetic Lounge Med Spa, located at 775 North Bank Lane in Lake Forest near Wisconsin Avenue. This just isn't any spa. They offer an amazing blend of traditional spa services plus the added benefit of medical procedures and treatments. In a relaxing and luxurious spa environment, you can enjoy a range of cosmetic and aesthetic treatments. These are all performed under the supervision of top medical professionals. The Aesthetic Lounge Med Spa provides skin care, facial rejuvenation, body contouring, laser hair removal, Botox, dermal fillers, chemical peels, and much more. What's great is that each treatment is tailored not just to enhance your appearance, but also to address specific skin concerns and to promote overall well-being. So if you're looking to pamper yourself and take your beauty routine to the next level, give the Aesthetic Lounge Med Spa a call at 224-768-8028 or visit them at their location on North Bank Lane. It's an experience your skin will thank you for. Your AT&T phone sucks.
All right.
And then just be advised, your sound sucks.
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry.
I'll be at my destination in like 10 minutes. Hopefully.
All right.
And I'll just do it from the parking lot.
Well, you can chime in. We'll just say,
yeah,
you're on your AT&T phone. Plus, with the solar flare and the tornadoes and the snow.
I'm on. It's T-Mobile, but yeah.
Right, Dahlia?
Right.
Did I say that right, Dahlia Fahmy?
Dahlia, you got it. Yeah.
Dahlia Fahmy, because Pete Jansons is known for getting names right. And then we have Joe Weiss, who is in transit, and actually he's not in transit. He's walking with his cell phone, because if you're in your car doing a Zoom meeting, I believe January 1st, that is against the law. And we at the Lake Forest podcast adhere to the letter of the law. Is that right, Joe Weiss? Thank you. Well, it's sort of yes there. So Dahlia, we're going to see your smiling face. Do I have to?
I don't. Okay, here we go. Yes, you do.
There you go.
How are you?
Fantastic. So we have this is just like going to the Lantern or Chiefs, show up the bar and, working on our beer elbow, which I'm sure I can get some help with at your place.
Yes, you can. Absolutely.
But people show up and we start talking about things. And a person that just left the bar, a good friend of ours, Bobby, he said, "Hey man, I invited Dahlia to come over. She's got a biz in town. You should bring her on the show." Because that's how this podcast started back in the pandemic. We're trying to help out local businesses. People couldn't get out. So we wanted to help. Dahlia Fahmy, Dahlia Fahmy.
Okay,
You can live with it.
Yeah, I can live with either one.
I've done much worse. I've done much worse. Please, you have a business in town that would help rehab my beer elbow because it's getting bent a lot lately. Might have little beeritis in there, but could you tell us about your business and your background?
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually started the business Sports and Ortho itself 21 years ago now. But we've been in the Lake Forest area for the last almost 2 years, yeah, 2 years. So just, I decided that Lake Forest was just a great community to bring our brand to as a private practice, kind of your concierge type of PT. And it's been great. The community has been awesome. The people in Lake Forest and Lake Bluff are awesome. Really having a good time there.
Now I'll put all the links in here and point out where you're at, but it's not just Lake Forest. I forgot all locations, but Glenview is one of them. What are the rest of the places that you're at?
Yeah, so we have 9 locations. So we're Lake Forest is our furthest north, and then Glenview, Evanston, Edison Park, Saguanash, and then all the way down south side of Chicago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, what's
Yes, it's been
that?
it's been a busy 20 years. Busy 20 years. Yeah.
How did you get in the biz? Like, did you have a bum knee and you're like, you know what, I can do better?
No, my background, I started being a PT at the age of 22, and by the age of 25, I was director of rehab at a hospital in Florida, and kind of built their business, and then moved to another location and built their business, and then moved to Chicago, worked for a physician practice and built their business. And finally, I was like, you know what? If I can do it for everybody else, why am I doing that? Why don't I just do it for myself? And decided to kind of go on my own and what they say, pursue the American dream, right?
American dream. God bless America. Darn straight.
Yeah, yeah,
So, okay, great. So that's why you got into it, but what
yeah.
what bug got into your backside that you had to open up all these other locations? Like money?
Quite. I'll tell you what the bug was. Quite honestly, when I started the first location, and I would go back then, you could kind of go and talk to doctors and tell them about yourself. They would tell me, you have one location? You'd want me to remember one location? So I was like, okay, I guess I need two. And then that was two. It's like, you only have two locations. So it was really the physicians kind of saying, like, I'm not going to remember that you only have one. So I kind of realized pretty quickly that I probably need more than one, more than two, more than three, for people to take notice and to be able to say, okay, I have a patient who lives in Lake Forest. She can take care of them, but they work in Chicago, and she could still take care of them.
Yeah.
So that was a driving force.
So Dahlia, what would be kind of cool is you don't have to do it right now, but
Yeah.
you have somebody at the Lake Forest location sometime, before Saturday, if they could do a little video walkthrough, and then I'll say, hey, check, this is what it's like when you walk in through the front door. This is, and something like that, right? Little walkthrough.
Absolutely. Yeah, we can do that
And we'll put it
on
right here.
tomorrow.
Hey everyone, my name is Ali. I'm one of the physical therapists here at Lake Forest. We're here at 1361 Western Avenue. Come on inside, I'll show you around.
Of course, we'll edit this out in post. We never,
Yeah, no,
we never edit anything out of post. So unless
that
you
would be
tell us
great.
to. We are
That would be great.
we are
Yeah.
raw, we are raw authentic. So first question, you take insurance?
Yes, we take the majority of insurances.
Okay, that's a big one.
Yes,
That's a big one.
it is. It is a big one.
This this healthcare, these mergers that are happening, like to get a general I know this is getting away from what you do, but I'm just saying what, healthcare is such a pain in the backside
Yes.
is
Yes.
to get a new GP, general practice doc, a year wait for Lake Forest. Okay.
Wow,
A,
that's crazy.
a year wait. And then maybe I need better insurance. I don't know. I have to go on the Obama site and see what is. We'll edit that out in post. But my old doctor, he got snatched away, who I had for, I don't know, 8, 9 years. Maybe he didn't like me anymore, but there was a merger. There's so many mergers that are going on. Northwest
Yes.
Community, Northwestern. I can't keep track of them.
North Shore. Yeah.
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 And
Yeah.
he went into the concierge side of things. So that's the new way of doing things. So when you say you're a concierge, like what does that mean? To me, what I hear is it's like it's a fixed amount of people and you don't have to wait a year to get a doctor.
Right. So we don't fix the amount of people, but we are a private practice. So like people don't really understand, well, what does that mean? It means that we're not, like you said, merging with other companies where now it's about how many people can we get in, now they're overloading. And then you can't get in, right? Because there's just too many people going through the door. So people can get into our clinic within 24 to 48 hours. We spend time with the patient, so we're not rushed. We spend 45 minutes one-on-one with each patient, and then they're in the gym for another 45 minutes. So it's more like doctors are going into concierge because they want to provide better quality care because they don't have those demands on them. That's why they're doing concierge. Same thing with us. I don't want to be part of a, corporate company or get bought out by a corporate company because I do also want to give that quality one-on-one time, not only for the patients, but for myself. I want to be able to spend that time.
Now, come on, Dahlia. There's always an exit plan. Never say never.
21 years in, haven't taken that exit plan.
All right. Real good. So you have kids that are in school right now. They're working on being trainers because you work with a professional baseball team. What I'm trying to go off of your bio because it's not just hey, you take care of moms and dads and non-professional athletes, but you also work with professional athletes. Like give us an example of like who you work with. Not the
Well, so
names,
that
but the
was,
type of sports.
yeah. That was when I first graduated. I worked with some semi-professional football teams and so forth. Now we work with a lot of local teams, like our fire department team in Chicago, our baseball team for the police department, and then we sponsor and are the physical therapist for a lot of like sports groups here in the Midwest, like Team Elite figure skating, Glenview Stars, the hockey teams. So we just try to partner with a lot of local teams, both for adults and children and teenagers, so that we can be part of our community. So that's what we've been doing as a company for the last 20 years.
Well, that's serious stuff because there's a lot of I wouldn't say overbearing or helicoptering, but it's you want the best, for your kids. And if you got a kid with talent, or you think they do, whatever it is, because nobody wants to say your kid stinks, but you want to make sure they have the best care so they can, possibly go on the next level, get a ride somewhere, get college paid for. But
absolutely.
I'm going to throw something out that's going to be very controversial because I've been known to do that is, do you have to have an opinion on the injuries that come in on artificial turf?
Do you have an opinion on it? Well, I mean, how are you going to get away from it? Right.
Okay, great. So
yeah, how are you going to get away from it? So, I mean, it's the same thing with pickleball.
That was my next one, Dahlia.
Yeah, I mean, am I going to tell people stop playing on artificial turf or stop playing pickle or paddle? we just have to deal with it. But we're seeing obviously more and more injuries with pickle and paddle. A friend of mine just tore her Achilles tendon playing
Oh,
paddle. I was like, oh man, that's like the worst injury you can have. But the flip side is people want to be healthier. They want to go out and exercise. They like the social aspect of everything. So, God bless them. Go out and do it. Just my thing is be prepared. Like,
yeah.
make sure that your body is prepared to do some of these things. And that's where physical therapy comes in. People don't realize that they can come for preventative care just as much as they can come for injury care. And people don't know that. People also don't know that you no longer need to go see a doctor to come into physical therapy. The only people that do are Medicare patients do need a prescription, but nobody else does. If you have private insurance, Blue Cross, Cigna, United Healthcare, Aetna, you can come and see a PT. You don't have to go see
Yeah.
a doctor to tell you to go see a PT. And a lot of people don't know that.
Well, the risk of being sedentary, did I say that right? The risk of being
Yeah.
sedentary is greater than the risk of going out and being active. And in
Right.
our particular climate out here, look, I've had all my hips and knees done. I go through a metal detector at O'Hare. It's like I'm a terrorist, but I agree. Grass is better, but in the climate that you're in, unless you got a dome or something, you can't and bring the grass in, you can't have it.
Right.
So the
Right.
turf, even the professional athletes, the best turf in the entire world, I'm going to throw out a name, Aaron Rodgers. He stepped on the field one play and his Achilles went up like a shade, and rolled up. And he
Yeah,
thinks
has no give. Yeah.
and he thinks he can get back into a professional game in less than a year. That's cray cray. But you're
Oh,
not.
it's not cray cray with
Oh,
the right.
talk to me.
No,
Uh,
no.
okay.
With the right doctors and the right rehab, you can totally get back. I've gotten firefighters back to their job in 3 months after an Achilles tendon repair. Um, it's all about the right combination of good care, right? Good
Yeah.
on the surgeon side, good on the PT side. For me as a physical therapist, I mean, I've had my business for 21 years, but I've been doing this for 30 years. And just like any other profession, you've got good therapists out there and you've got not so good therapists out there. So, doing your research, going to a place that, going to a therapist or going to a place that you can research and see that they give quality care for
Yeah.
rehab is crucial. It really is. Like you just cannot just like you wouldn't go, to any surgeon without without researching, you shouldn't go to any physical therapist without researching as well.
I guess I'm trying not to poke the bear in town here, but what I'm shooting for is, do you see different types of injuries on grass versus turf? I've played on it all, and again, there's depending on the shoe wear that you have, depending on what the weather was at the time, depending if you warmed up beforehand. Do you see any differences? Because you see people throughout the Chicagoland area, but do you notice any differences? And you could say no comment.
Well, quite honestly, most of the injuries that we're seeing, they're injuries on grass, right? These are kids that are playing outside soccer, football. So we're not getting, and maybe we're just not getting them as a company. I don't know, but
So,
I don't see,
so I'm not trying to cut you off. I'm trying to
no,
steer it in the conversation that I want to have. If you
yeah.
see soccer, football, baseball, like what do you see are the most common? Because we got moms and dads, listening, and what are the common things that parents are trying to do everything right, but what is the biggest advice you could give for each sport or even cheerleading? Right? People don't think cheerleading because you get a lot of head injuries with that. I know you're not dealing with head injuries, but banged up elbows, knees, and whatnot. Can you go through the sports and just say, hey, this is what you're seeing, and hey, a couple things to give advice on how to prepare or deal with injuries?
Well, for me, it doesn't matter the sport. It's the body, right? It's get your child's body prepared for the sport that they play. So a lot of parents think, hey, my kid is fine, right? But most teenagers are so inflexible. They are so tight. They don't spend enough time stretching. They know nothing about their bodies. Their posture sucks because of the phone,
Yeah.
all this stuff. And then they go out and play football, right? So as a PT doing this for a long time, my biggest advice is make sure that your kid's body is prepared for the sport that they play, because that in itself will decrease injuries, you know, exponentially, right? So we've set up at my clinic, we've set up, screenings for some of the teams that we are part of, where all the kids come in and we get screened, and we can assess their risk factor. We can say, your kid has a 80% chance of getting injured based on what we're finding in their body, whereas this kid has like a 5% because their body moves perfectly, right? So my advice is seek out a PT to assess your child to prevent the injury. And then if an injury does occur, physical therapy is key. So do your research, make sure that your kid's going to a good place. And that's what you need to do.
Talk to me about lacrosse and soccer.
Yeah.
That seems to be like a sport that it doesn't seem to be as physical, even though it is physical. You think the likelihood of getting hurt in that is less than football perception. Tell me I am wrong now.
You're wrong. I was a soccer player. I tore my ACL and broke both my ankles. So yeah, not all at the same time.
Okay.
But no, lacrosse and soccer is just as soccer is just as physical. I mean, you're running everywhere. So, ACLs are very common in soccer, especially in girls. Ankle fractures, ankle sprains, obviously very prevalent in soccer. Lacrosse, same. So lacrosse and soccer are a lot of lower extremity type of injuries. Football can be everywhere, right? Football can be, well, soccer concussions as well, but football concussions, shoulders, backs, knees, ankles, you name it, because the whole body is involved. So we see injuries across the board. Like no sport is, unless you play cricket, and even then I see injuries in cricket. Unless you play cricket, every sport there's a chance of an injury.
How about this? Let's make you some money. What about golf?
Golf. Well, golf, we do see golfers, but golfers is golfers is not your major injuries, right? Golfers is your tendonitis. And those can be just as painful as anything else, but they're not your ACL tears or herniated discs, or sometimes we get herniated discs with golf, but golf is usually the tendonitis.
I mean, they will spend $1,000 to get their handicap down 1 point. You can't
yes,
even.
They will. Yes, they will.
But let's talk the difference. And then, Joe, if you feel strong in there, your signal looks strong. I think your phone needs a little PT, phone therapy. But Dahlia, talk to me about heat and ice. Okay, I don't want to take away business, but you got to give before you can receive. When do you use heat? When do you use ice?
Yeah, so ice is supposed to be within 48 hours of an injury. That's when it's the most effective. So if you have an injury, you hurt yourself, you want to use ice right away, and using it more than 20 minutes is not necessary, meaning 20 minutes at a time. You don't need to keep ice on for an hour. After 20, 25 minutes, the effect is done. And every 6 hours, 4 to 6 hours, right? If you have an injury. After 48 to 72 hours, the effect of ice is kind of lost. And then you can start using heat. So for more chronic stuff, like you have a chronic back problem, you have a chronic, heat is better. But if you just injured yourself today, definitely use ice. You want to decrease the inflammation.
And it kills the pain a little bit.
And it kills the pain, right?
Yeah.
Right. It has an analgesic effect. It has an anti-inflammatory effect. So ice is a great natural tool.
Now, Joe, you want to give it a shot?
Yeah.
Oh, hi,
Dahlia.
Joe.
Sorry.
Joe
Hey,
Weiss.
Joe. How are you?
Good. So I have two sports that my daughter had injuries in, cheerleading and figure skating.
Yep. Yep. So cheerleading, obviously very physical sport, very. And figure skating, we're part of a figure skating team, and I've watched them skate, and it's beautiful and a tough sport. Falling on that ice is not fun. Like I said, all sports have their risk, right? What kind of injuries did they have, Joe? Well, you don't have to say what, knees, ankles, those two sports are definitely.
I love that picture of him just frozen like that.
He's just
Well,
frozen in time. It's
I
so
love
weird.
it. He's quiet. It's so cool. So I don't want to throw out a competitor, but I would think, Dahlia, what you're doing, it reminds me a lot about how Athletico got going. Wasn't that a bunch of Northwestern people that got together and said, "Hey, we can build a better mousetrap," or Pete?
I don't think
Oh,
it was
you got it wrong
Northwestern.
again.
Yeah, I don't think it was Northwestern people. That Athletico was started by Mark Kaufman, great guy, great physical therapist. And he grew it, right? He grew it and he wanted to grow it to multi-clinic. Have no desire to be the next Athletico. I love being a mom and pop. I want to be part of the community. I have no desire to have 100 clinics or now thousands of clinics across the nation. I you know I have an obligation to the profession. For personally, I want to make sure that the profession stays true to what we do, and I just feel like I have an obligation to patients to just continue to be able to give one-on-one, a lot of time to the patients. And, since I own the company, I can make those decisions. That's why I never want to sell the company, because that no longer becomes my decision. Right. And that would be a really tough pill for me to swallow, that I can no longer make those decisions.
It's like I asked you if you want to be mayor. Wow, that was good, Dahlia.
Oh,
No, but you do have people like to have a mom and pop feel, but they also like to know that there is standardization of care and locations, right? So you have a system in place. It's taking you a while to find good people and keep the good people. And if you go to Sauganash or you're going to Lake Forest, you're getting, standardization of care. How long did it take
Correct.
you to get that together?
Well, it was one clinic at a time. So, like you mentioned, standardization of care. What I make sure that the clinics, the PTs are standardized in the fact that they believe in our goal as a company. They believe in our mission. And so there is a standardization of care across all my clinics because I make sure of it. And that's the beauty of being a mom and pop, is that you can watch over what's going on. I don't have thousands of employees that I can't possibly watch over. I've got 25 physical therapists. We talk every day. Everybody knows what we stand for. I train them the way that they need to be trained. I send them to the courses that I know that they need to be sent to. So we do have standardization of care across the board, all tied into our mission and our vision as a company. That is true.
But no, getting back to the cheerleading thing,
Yes.
with that's a sport that I have watched with my daughter now for several years. And I learned that the most injuries of any female sport is cheerleading, because the coaches they've got the mats out when they practice inside and stuff, but they still they fall on each other. I mean, my daughter had a concussion from a girl falling on her.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I mean, I feel like the concussion thing is more serious for cheerleaders now than it is for football players.
Yeah. Well, yeah, football players don't have a person falling from the sky onto their head.
Well, and they also wear a helmet.
And they also wear a helmet. Good point.
Pads,
Yeah, my daughter's a gymnast. So similar to cheerleading, a lot of injuries in gymnastics as well. Yeah, but again, gymnasts, of course, can fall on their head when they're doing their stuff, but cheerleaders have. I mean, I'm shocked. I've watched those cheerleading shows on TV, the cheer and all those, and I'm shocked. I mean, the things that they do is, wow. Like I'm floored by what these cheerleaders do. So I'm not surprised that it's the number one, sport for injuries for girls. But, again, I go back to what are we going to do about it? How do we?
Yeah. On the neurological side, you take care of the body physically to help out with something neurologically. You're not dealing with anything neurologically. I know enough about the brain to be dangerous. I know I need a better one, but what do you guys do? Like, let's say Parkinson's, right? What can you do to
Yeah. So, my clinic is, just the name Sports and Ortho itself, right? We have treated Parkinson's patients. We have treated, multiple sclerosis patients, MS, and other neurological deficits, but it's not really our strong suit.
Yeah.
Let's just put it that way. Like I know how to treat I think I do great with a Parkinson's patient, but do I think my clinic is set up, for more neurological patients? I would say no, it's not. I have counterparts, friends of mine that own clinics that that see neurological patients. I would say go see them. That, they're the experts in neuro. We're the experts in ortho.
That's why the intake is so important, right? You spend time and say,
Yeah.
this is what I can do, this is what I can't do, setting the right expectations, because at the end of the day, you're doing work when you're going to your facility, right? You can't just sit there. You have to put the time and the work in, to get better.
Yeah.
One of the new things to get better out there is the use of oxygen. You got an opinion on that when they go on those, I don't even know what they call them anymore, those chambers and
Those chambers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, those are, it's not a PT thing, quite honestly. Like we don't
Yeah.
have oxygen chambers and physical therapy, but I totally believe in that stuff. And a lot of it is research based, right?
Yeah.
Like even infrared now, like we do use infrared in our clinic. So as
Red
long as
light.
the research backs, yeah, red light therapy, as long as the research backs it up, I'm for anything that helps the human body, let's do it.
Holistic, that's a key word.
Yes, holistic is a key word, and I truly believe in holistic medicine. Like, why push a bunch of pills? We don't want people on pain pills. We know about the oxy pandemic with people
Yeah.
dying on pain pills, and it drives me quite honestly, my daughter had surgery for her foot, and they wanted to give her 30 hydrocodone, 30 pills, painkiller pills. And I looked at the nurse, I'm like, she's 17.
You know how much those are worth?
I was like, yeah, I was like, how much can I get? I said to her, I don't think she needs 30 pain pills. And she's like, well, just it's a monitor, in case of her pain. I said, you know what? No,
Right.
I will take care of her pain. I will do massage. I will ice it. I will elevate it. I will get her going in physical therapy. No, I'm not going to give her painkillers. So
what
I
about
think,
the whole
yeah.
debate of Advil and Motrin or Tylenol?
Well, those are
Everybody's
not
got an opinion on that.
Yeah, I mean, those are not addictive, right? We don't want
I
to
hope
be
not.
we don't want to be giving teenagers opioids if we can get by with, maybe some PT and some good old
Well,
ice and, like you said, Advil, Tylenol,
well,
all that stuff.
Joe makes a great point on the Advil Tylenol. When do you take Advil? When do you take Tylenol?
Well, I mean, as prescribed by your physician, but I'm just saying, like, we want
Duly
to,
noted. Here, P.
as
Jansons,
prescribed, but
I play a doctor on this podcast. If you're trying to get rid of swelling, Advil is a better thing to take. Is that right, Dr. Dahlia?
and swelling would be, yes, any anti-inflammatory.
Okay,
Anything with
very good. All right.
anti-inflammatory. Yeah.
I'm paying you.
Yeah.
I think we need Dr. Mayor Randy Tack on here for that expertise.
Yeah, how about that? How about you don't want to be Athletico, but do you aspire to get into the Illinois bone and joint realm to be acquired by the mayor? He's gonna love that. No comment.
No comment.
I think Pete, he's retired now from there, but
Well, I mean, he was part of the group that got that.
he helped start it.
Yeah,
He helped the whole thing start. Yeah.
and I'm looking from the PT side of things. I mean,
I mean, IBGI is a great company, great docs. They're They're a well-oiled machine. So I can only hope to be as a well-oiled machine as them. How about that?
She's protecting her city business license right now, Pete.
No, are you on city council somewhere? Like, where do you reside? You got to be on council.
No, I'm a Northbrook resident.
All right. Ever been on
They
council?
have a 10-cent bag tax in Northbrook. No, thank you.
They do. They do. That just started.
Ridiculous.
Well,
So everyone shops and everyone goes to Glenview or Deerfield to shop.
Do you guys still do Stim? Is that still a thing? And what do I mean by Stim, Dahlia?
Yeah, electrical stimulation. So there's a lot of modality. Well, that's called a modality that we have to our disposal in PT. I don't use it that often. I prefer to use my hands, more manual type of stuff versus machines, quite honestly. But they have their place. Like they help with swelling, they can help with muscle re-education. So yes, we have them to our disposal. We just don't use them. I just don't use them as like, oh, lay down and let me put a hot pack and a stim on you as part of your treatment. I would rather let me get my hands on you. Let's do some cupping. Let's do some dry needling. Let's do some, soft tissue work, as opposed to let me lay you down.
Okay, so I'm just speaking from the 80s. Okay, that would
Yeah.
ice. Here's a stick, ice, heat, and here's your stim. So cupping, is that with the candle, and is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, well, they used to do it with, yes, people would heat a cup.
Did you make me less dumb? Tell me what this is.
Yeah, so cupping, so yes, you're right. Back in the day, they'd take a glass, it's a cup, it's a glass cup, and they would heat it up, and that would create the negative pressure, the suction. Now it's more sophisticated than that. We don't need a candle or anything like that. We have cupping that you either pump with a pump, or now silicone cups that just use negative pressure by just pushing on them. And so cupping is something that we use in physical therapy now to help with soft tissue mobilization, with fascial mobilization, to help increase blood flow, all that stuff. So we use cupping quite a bit in my practice, as well as now we have something called dry needling, which is taking acupuncture needles and inserting them, obviously. But as PTs, we use it in a different way than acupuncturists. So that's another thing that all my physical therapists at my company are certified in dry needling, which a lot of people come in and ask for because it's very, very effective.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah.
Joe, while your phone's still working, you got anything else for Dahlia? We're getting towards the end here. She's going to send
No,
us.
I think I think it's great that you're in Lake Forest. And you're on Western Avenue, right?
Yes, 1361 Northwestern. Yep.
That's the part that's north of
Yes.
like north of Sophia and all that, near near our friend Alderman Dr. Goshgarian's orthodontistry office, I believe. So
yeah, right there, right across the street, I believe.
Hopefully my daughter doesn't need to see you anytime soon.
If she does, you know where to find us.
That's right.
Last question, Dahlia. More hips or knees?
More knees.
More knees, yeah. What do you think?
Hips are a very strong joint. So, and surrounded by a lot of muscles. So people will have knee pain before they have hip pain, even though the hip might be the problem. They'll experience knee pain first and then experience the hip pain.
Can we do a little PSA, and then Dahlia, you can tell me I'm full of it or not?
Sure.
Whatever your knee or hip is, the longer that you put it off, because I am extremely guilty of this, whatever that first joint is, the more you put it off, the more your muscles atrophy and the harder it is to recover from, and it makes it much more nasty to come from. Is that true statement or false?
I guess I'll say it depends, because if you have, let's say, an arthritic knee, that now you can't straighten, you're going a year and you can't even straighten your knee, let's say, right? Well, now it's harder because now all the soft tissue has shortened and everything. So you go and get a knee replacement, but now we got to try to negate a year of, soft tissue shortening. But we have people with knee arthritis that have full range of motion. So for them to wait is not as bad as for someone who doesn't have full range of motion. So it really depends.
Good answer. Depends is always the answer, especially if you're over the age of 70. What about the people that get the hip and knee surgery and then they don't get the rehab? Like the knee, you got to get 90 degrees on that thing. The hip, don't cross the hips, you'll dislocate it. You got to get therapy because then they crab, hey, I'm walking worse than when I started.
Yeah, it's very important to get PT after a total hip and total knee or any joint replacement. Really, really important. You got to get the range of motion back. You got to get the strength back. And the whole reason people do a total hip and total knee is to go back to their life and have full function. Why would you want to go through a surgery and then not follow through to get full function? So it's really important. And that's what PTs do. Like, our job is to get people back to their lives. So that's why I love this profession. I love doing my job because, it's so nice to bring someone from hobbling in to running out.
Second to last question, pickleball. What are you seeing coming in with the injuries? Besides
everything,
ego
everything, pickleball. I mean, you name it, we see it with pickleball. Like I said, Achilles tears, Achilles tendonitis, knee pain, meniscal tears, elbow tendonitis. Not so much like shoulder, like rotator cuff tears, but rotator cuff tendonitis. And the thing about pickle, I don't care how much pain people are in. They're like, I don't care. I'm going to go play pickle.
The courts are so close to each other. There's got to be a lot of injuries of people just crashing into each other from like the ball goes into the other court. And
I don't see that. I don't see that as much, but it's like addictive. I think I have to go play it to find out why people are so addicted to it, but they are addicted.
The Lake Forest Parks and Rec has a nice pickleball course that you can, my wife and I are in it. We single-handedly brought the average age down 20 years in the class.
No, but something happens.
And I'm 55.
Something happens with that sport where you take a mom and you give her a paddle and that ball, and they turn vicious against each other. They will not lose.
Yes.
Pent aggressions. All those socks you left on the floor. Wham.
1-0-1.
They are intense. They are intense. To be a guy to play pickleball, I would not want to go up against a member of the opposite sex. That's all. I don't know. Can I say that anymore? Dahlia, where are the locations?
It's like tennis and ping pong combined.
Yeah.
No,
exactly.
no, but there's something. I'm just saying, there's something there. And I've seen it in the family where devil eyes come out, like those red laser eyes when they're about to hit the ball. I'm just saying. Dahlia, where are your locations at?
Well, in Lake Forest, it's 1361 Northwestern.
Right.
In Lake Forest, and then Glenview, corner of Finkston and Willow, and then in Evanston we're on Ewing. Anybody can go to our website, sportsandortho.net.
Yes, we'll put it right here, but Saginaw, Chicago, the South Side, we take care of Southsiders too, no problem.
Yeah, we take care of Southsiders too.
Right.
And so find a location near you.
What's the URL, Dahlia?
The website?
Yeah.
Yeah, www.sportsandortho.net.
Put it right here.
Yeah.
It has been a pleasure, Dahlia Fahmy, coming on.
Pleasure all mine. Pleasure all mine.
Thank you, Dahlia.
It all
depends. Thank you, Joe. Nice meeting you both.
Nice meeting you.
Looking for the best pool supplies? Look no further than Dohany's Pool Supplies. With a history dating back to 1967, this family-owned business offers everything families need to keep their pools clean and sparkling, from chemicals to equipment. Plus, customers enjoy free shipping on all orders. Visit Dohany's Pool Supplies today at doheny.com, DOHENY.com, to learn more. Broker Michelle Parno has lived and worked in Lake Forest for over 2 decades. Michelle's lending experience, when combined with her real estate expertise, makes her an invaluable asset to her clients as they navigate their home buying or selling process. Call Michelle now at 847-528-8721, 847-528-8721. For the best cannabis in the world, look no further than Iliad Epic Grow. Owned by Lake Bluff's own Rich Ruzich, they are a cannabis cultivation center focusing on hard-to-find small batch products that will delight both the occasional user and ganjier. When visiting Michigan, ask for it by name. Epic Products, exceptional process. For more information, email info@iliadgrow.com. Laracy & Company CPAs, founded in 2010 by Lake Forest's own Brian Laracy, specializes in tax preparation and bookkeeping services. Earning the People Love Us on Yelp award, their process is straightforward. Just upload, review, and file. For a free quote, visit LaracyCPA.com now. That's LARISEYCPA.com. I'm excited to share with you something special from our Lake Forest community, the Aesthetic Lounge Med Spa, located at 775 North Bank Lane in Lake Forest near Wisconsin Avenue. This just isn't any spa. They offer an amazing blend of traditional spa services plus the added benefit of medical procedures and treatments. In a relaxing and luxurious spa environment, you can enjoy a range of cosmetic and aesthetic treatments. These are all performed under the supervision of top medical professionals. The Aesthetic Lounge Med Spa provides skin care, facial rejuvenation, body contouring, laser hair removal, Botox, dermal fillers, chemical peels, and much more. What's great is that each treatment is tailored not just to enhance your appearance, but also to address specific skin concerns and to promote overall well-being. So if you're looking to pamper yourself and take your beauty routine to the next level, give the Aesthetic Lounge Med Spa a call at 224-768-8028 or visit them at their location on North Bank Lane. It's an experience your skin will thank you for. We'd also like to say we're thankful for our Patreon supporters, Otto, John C., Helen, Herrick, and J.M.